You are not bad with money. You are simply enthusiastic about spending it. There is a difference, a very expensive difference. Today, we are going to fix that with 15 small habits. 15, not a complete personality overhaul, not a finance degree, 15 tiny, doable, embarrassingly simple habits that you have been ignoring your entire adult life. Before we begin, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. Not because it helps the algorithm. Well, it does, but more importantly, it is the only free thing you will do today. So enjoy it, because the rest of this video is going to cost you your excuses. Welcome. Pull up a chair. Get comfortable. Maybe put down whatever you are currently adding to your cart. Yes, I can see you, and pay attention. My name is not important. What is important is that somewhere between your childhood piggy bank and your current bank statement, something went catastrophically, hilariously, and very expensively wrong. This video is your intervention, delivered with love and a moderate amount of judgment. Here is what you are walking away with today. 15 habits. Each one scientifically simple, each one psychologically powerful, and each one specifically designed for people who know what they should do with money, but somehow do not do it. You will learn how to stop impulse buying without feeling like a monk who has taken a vow of retail poverty. You will discover how your phone is quite literally engineered to make you broke and what to do about it. You will understand why your willpower is not the problem and stop blaming yourself at 2 a.m. while refreshing your bank account. And you will get a full 7-day challenge at the end, because reading about habits and actually building them are two wildly different experiences, as your gym membership history will confirm. Let us talk about the real problem. Not the big purchases, not the vacations, not even the car you probably bought with a payment plan and a prayer. The real problem is the small stuff. The $4 coffee that's obviously just a mood purchase. The subscription you forgot you had. The add-on at checkout that cost $8 and now lives in a drawer. The flash sale you entered like a civilian and exited like a war veteran with 40% off things you didn't need at full price. Researchers called this death by 1,000 small purchases. I call it Tuesday. The average person underestimates their monthly spending by 40%. 40. That's not a rounding error. That's a second personality living in your bank account. And she loves online shopping. Habit 1. The mandatory waiting period. This is the habit that separates people who build wealth from people who build impressive Amazon return histories. Here's the rule. Before buying anything that's not food, medicine, or an actual emergency, you wait. 24 hours minimum, 48 for anything over $50, 72 for anything that made you say, "I need this," within 3 seconds of seeing an ad. And here's the beautiful, almost insulting truth. 70% of the time, you will not. The dopamine wears off. The need evaporates. The item sits in your cart like an abandoned dream, and you save $37 without any willpower whatsoever. The other 30%, you still want it, and now you know it was an actual decision, not a hijacking.
Habit 2. Unsubscribe from marketing emails. Every single one. All of them. That includes the store you love, especially the store you love. Here is something nobody in retail will ever tell you. Those emails are not deals. They are scheduled ambushes, written by people with psychology degrees whose entire job is to make your finger move toward that buy now button before your brain catches up. The subject line that says, "We miss you," was not written by a human who misses you. It was written by a conversion rate optimization specialist who misses your credit card number. There is a difference, a deeply unromantic difference. Go to your inbox right now. Search unsubscribe. Spend 20 minutes this weekend clicking that link on every retail email you own. This one action, 20 minutes of mild inconvenience, will remove approximately 47 ambushes from your week, every week, forever. You will not miss the deals. The deals will still exist when you go looking for them. The only thing that changes is that the deals stop going looking for you. Habit 3. Delete the shopping apps off your phone. Yes, the ones you are thinking about right now. Yes, including that one. The average shopping app user spends 3 times more than someone who shops only on a desktop browser. 3 times! Because when purchasing requires opening a laptop, finding your charger, waiting for it to boot up, and navigating an actual website, your brain has time to ask the only question that matters. Do I actually need this, or am I just bored? Shopping apps remove every single layer of friction between your emotion and your money. They have your card saved, they have your address saved, they have your size, your preferences, your browsing history. They know you better than your therapist, and they use that information exclusively to take your money. Your therapist at least pretends to help. Delete the apps. If you truly need to buy something, you will go find it. The 2 extra minutes of friction will save you hundreds per month. That is not an exaggeration. That is a documented behavioral economics finding that these companies pay millions to reverse engineer, and you can undo it for free in 4 seconds, right now. Habit 4. Cash categories, also known as envelope budgeting, also known as the system your grandparents used before we all decided that digital money with no physical weight and no visible limit was somehow better for self-control. It was not. It is not. We simply refused to learn. Here is the psychology. When you pay with a card, or worse, a phone tap, your brain does not fully register the transaction as a loss. Neuroscientists call this the pain of paying. Cards reduce it dramatically. Cash amplifies it. When you physically hand over bills and watch them leave your hand forever, something registers, something primal, something that whispers, "That was real." Set up 5 envelopes: groceries, eating out, entertainment, personal spending, miscellaneous. Fill them at the start of the month. When the envelope is empty, and this is the critical part, the part everyone tries to negotiate around, you are done. The category is closed. You do not borrow from other envelopes. You do not mentally transfer. You stop and you wait until next month. Habit 5. Check your bank balance every single day. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that sounds anxiety-inducing and unpleasant, and why would I voluntarily look at something that makes me feel bad? And to that, I say, exactly. That discomfort is the entire point. You are supposed to feel it. Because right now, without daily check-ins, you are operating on vibes, on vague financial optimism, on the hope that the number is probably fine, which is the same logic that gets people surprised by overdraft fees on a Tuesday. Daily balance checks take 45 seconds. They create what psychologists call financial mindfulness, a constant low-level awareness of your actual situation versus your imagined one. People who check daily spend an average of 20% less, not because they suddenly earn more, because they can no longer pretend they do not know. Habit 6. The one in, one out rule. For every new item you bring into your life, one item of equal or greater category must leave it. Buy a new shirt, donate a shirt. Buy a new gadget, remove a gadget. Simple, clean, effective. And absolutely devastating to the part of your brain that believes owning more things is the same as solving problems. The one in, one out rule does 2 things simultaneously. First, it physically limits accumulation. Second, and this is the part with financial teeth, it forces a moment of deliberate decision before every purchase. Because now buying something means getting rid of something. And most people, when forced to confront that trade, suddenly discover they didn't want the new thing as much as they thought. This rule works especially well for clothing, electronics, books, kitchen gadgets, and home decor, which coincidentally are the 5 categories responsible for approximately 90% of all buyer's remorse in recorded human history. Approximately. Habit 8. Calculate cost per use before every significant purchase. This is the habit that makes cheap things expensive and expensive things cheap, and it will permanently change how you read a price tag. Here's how it works. That $30 item you'll use twice costs $15 per use. That $200 item you'll use 400 times costs 50 cents per use. One of these is genuinely cheap. One of these is an expensive decoration with a low price tag. The price tag doesn't tell you which is which. The math does. Apply this to clothing, to tools, to appliances, to gym equipment that you are absolutely going to use this time. You promise it's different now. Run the math before the purchase. If the cost per use is under $1, it's almost always worth it. If it's over $5, you're buying an emotion, not an item. And emotions, unfortunately, are not returnable, unless you act within 30 days and have the original packaging. Habit 7. Shop with a list. And here's the rule that actually makes this habit work, because everybody thinks they already do this, and everybody is wrong. If it's not on the list before you enter the store, it does not go in the cart. Not even if it's on sale. Not even if it's right there. Not even if it's calling your name from the end of the aisle like it was placed there specifically for you. It was placed there specifically for you. Retail stores spend millions on consumer psychology research to position items at eye level, at checkout lines, at the end of aisles, precisely to catch the unguarded moment. The list is your armor. The list makes every purchase a decision you made at home in a calm state without fluorescent lighting and ambient music designed to slow your walking pace and extend your exposure time. Yes, that's also real. Yes, they really do that. Write your list before you leave the house. Stick to it with the energy of someone who genuinely respects themselves. Come home with exactly you planned. Feel the quiet, unglamorous, deeply satisfying victory of a person who is slowly winning at money.
Judgment. You are using retail therapy the way other people use actual therapy. Except retail therapy costs more, solves nothing, and leaves you with 17 candles and a sense of mild shame. Here is what is actually happening neurologically. When you are stressed, bored, lonely, or anxious, your brain seeks dopamine. Shopping triggers a dopamine release at the moment of purchase, not delivery, not use, purchase, which is why the high is always shorter than the shipping time, and why your apartment has things in it that still have tags on them from 2022. The fix is not willpower. The fix is a pause and a substitution. When you feel the urge to shop emotionally, you pause for 10 minutes. Then you substitute. Go for a walk. Call someone. Drink water like the functional adult you are trying to become. Do anything that is not opening a shopping app. 10 minutes. That is the window. If the dopamine urge was emotional, it softens in 10 minutes. If it was genuine need, it does not. Habit 10. Separate your money into different accounts by purpose. This is the single most underrated structural change you can make to your financial life, and it costs nothing except 20 minutes at your bank's website and the mild inconvenience of having more than one login. Here is what happens when all your money lives in one place. You look at the balance, you see $800. You think, great, I have $800. You buy something for $150 and you feel fine. What you did not mentally account for is that $420 of that $800 was already spoken for. Rent, utilities, subscriptions, that gym membership you genuinely will use this time. You did not spend $150. You spent $150 you did not have. Welcome to the overdraft zone. Open 3 accounts. Account 1 receives your income and pays only fixed bills automatically. Account 2 is savings, automated transfer on payday before you see the money. Account 3 is your actual spending money. When account 3 is empty, spending stops. Simple, structural, and it works because it removes the mental math entirely. The system does the thinking, you just live within the number. Habit 11. Every single month, on the same day, first of the month works beautifully, you sit down and audit every subscription you are paying for, every single one. The average person has between 12 and 17 active subscriptions at any given time. The average person believes they have 5. That gap, that beautiful, expensive gap between reality and imagination, is quietly costing you between $100 and $300 per month. That is between $1,200 and $3,600 per year on things you forgot you were buying every year in silence. The rule is simple. For each subscription you find, ask one question. Did I use this in the last 30 days? If yes, keep it. If no, cancel it today. Not next month, not after you check if you still want it. Today, right now, while you still feel the financial horror that motivates action. Because tomorrow the feeling fades and the subscription charges on. Habit 12. Sleep on non-essential purchases over $30. Not metaphorically sleep on it, actually wait until the next morning. Make the decision with a brain that has rested, reset, and is no longer being actively manipulated by whatever emotional state or marketing trigger was present at the moment of temptation. Your brain at 10 p.m. and your brain at 8 a.m. are two genuinely different decision-making machines. Evening brain is tired, emotionally depleted, low on glucose, and has spent all day resisting things. Its willpower is essentially a phone at 4% battery. Morning brain is rested, has perspective, and is far more capable of asking the one question evening brain cannot seem to manage. What exactly am I trying to solve right now, and is this object actually the solution? This single habit, practiced consistently, will save the average person between $2,000 and $4,000 annually, not because you stopped buying things you want, but because you stopped buying things you wanted for 8 minutes on a Tuesday night. Habit 13. Track every purchase you make, every coffee, every parking meter moment of weakness, every single transaction, written down, dated, categorized. Here is why this works when budgets alone do not. A budget is a plan. Tracking is a mirror. And most people do not have a planning problem, they have an awareness problem. They genuinely do not know where the money goes. Tracking answers that question with precision and accountability. You do not need a complicated app. You need one note on your phone or a small notebook you carry. The tool is irrelevant. The act of writing it down, the moment of friction between purchase and record, changes behavior all by itself. People who track spending reduce it by 15 to 20% in the first month, just from awareness. Habit 14. Deliberately make spending harder. This sounds counterintuitive until you understand that every financial technology innovation of the last 20 years has been specifically designed to remove friction between you and a purchase. One-click buying, saved card details, tap to pay, buy now, pay later. All of it engineered to get money out of your account faster with less thought and less resistance than ever before. So, you're going to reverse engineer that. Remove saved card details from every shopping site. Type them in manually every time. Delete autofill. Keep your physical card in a different room from where you browse. Put a note in your wallet that says, "Is this the plan or is this the feeling?" Log out of shopping accounts after every session, so re-entry requires full login. The goal is not to make buying impossible. The goal is to make buying deliberate. One moment of deliberateness is all that stands between your money and your impulse. Build the moment. Protect it. Habit 15. Make your financial progress visible, physical, something you can see every single day without opening an app or logging in. Human beings are visual creatures, driven by progress.
The moment you can see that you have moved, even a small amount, from where you were to where you want to be, something shifts. Motivation stops being abstract and starts being real. The chart on the wall is not decoration. It's a daily contract between you and your future self. It's proof that the habits are working, and on the days when the habits feel pointless and spending feels tempting, it's the thing you look at and remember what you're building. Make it simple. A chart, a grid, anything that shows movement, because discipline alone is not what sustains habits. Progress does. Seeing it, feeling it, watching yourself improve, that's what keeps you going. You now have 15 habits. You feel prepared. This is where most people relax. This is also where the advanced traps begin. Trap 1. The "I deserve this" justification. You've been disciplined, you followed the rules, and now your brain builds a convincing argument that you've earned a reward. The logic feels right, but deserving something and being able to afford it are not the same thing. You can reward yourself without spending money. Your brain needs redirection, not agreement. Trap 2. Lifestyle inflation. You earn more, so you spend more. Your income increases, your lifestyle rises with it, and your savings stay the same. This is how high earners stay broke. The solution is simple. Every raise or bonus, save at least half before you upgrade anything. Trap 3. The false economy. Buying cheap things that break over and over again. It feels responsible, but it costs more in the long run. Always calculate cost per use. Cheap is not always affordable. Trap 4. Social spending. Spending to keep up with others, not because you need the item, but because you want to belong. The solution is a simple sentence. That doesn't work for my budget right now. No explanation needed. Everything you have learned means nothing without action. So here's your 7-day challenge. Day 1, audit your subscriptions. Cancel anything unused. Day 2, delete all shopping apps. Day 3, unsubscribe from all marketing emails. Day 4, set up a savings account and automate transfers. Day 5, create a visible progress chart. Day 6, do one shopping trip with a strict list. Day 7, reflect on what you learned about your habits. Here's the truth. The goal is not to stop spending money. The goal is to spend it intentionally. These habits are not restrictions. They are redirections. Every dollar you stop spending unconsciously becomes a dollar you can use on purpose. You now have the tools. You have the awareness. You have the starting point. Use it. If this helped you, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe for more. And tell me which habit you're starting with. Your money is still yours. Start acting like it.